to take it either back to where he belongs. So let's stand up together. Bring your totems to our fire. Let's stand up together and bring the spirit back to life as we place them in the sand. Like the eagles, they'll soar higher. Let's stand up together as our tribes all unite. UNITY spells of unity. UNITY.
We are born with connection to our ancestors through our blood. Our hearts beat the same whether or not we are conscious of it. Our ancestor spirit carries it and is connected to our spirits, just as every generation before. Our blood and our spirit is our key, not the colour of our skin.
One by one we'll take it to the top. A message from our dream. Till we get there, we won't stop. Won't you sing with me, my sister? Yes, sing with me, my friend. Sing with me, my brother. Sing it to a brother, man. As one till the end. Let's stand up together. Bring your totems to our fire. Let's stand up together and bring the spirit back to life as we place them in the sand. Like the eagles, they'll soar higher. Let's stand up together as our tribes all unite. Well, U is for universal unity, and negotiations for peace are necessary. I is instill international integrity to turn the tides of tyranny. Why? 'Cause that's the way it should be when we all stand together universally.
Close your eyes and imagine it. Feel it as your spirit comes into consciousness. Connect to your ancestors. No matter where you are, you will always have your connection to your country and your ancestors, as your ancestor spirit will never leave you. Trust in it and let it guide you. We are all brothers and sisters in the global community. Let us unite. Justice, peace, harmony for all.
Let's stand up together. Bring your totems to our fire. Let's stand up together and bring that spirit back to life as we place them in the sand. Like the eagles, they'll soar higher. Let's stand up together as our tribes all unite. UNITY spells of unity. UNITY spells of unity. UNITY.
Welcome, everybody. We're so grateful that you're here. Welcome to 2021 World Unity Week. You're here and it's happening. I'm Becky Suzik, and I am on Team WOO, Team World Unity Week team. And we're really just so excited and so blessed to invite you into this experience. This is year one. Last year was year zero. We had World Unity Week in June of last year, which was how I got drawn into this amazing collective of collaborators that are doing unifying and healing work for humans and for the earth. We are just so excited to be inviting you in to find the ways that you can discover where you can express your gifts and be present within our collective in June. The World Unity Week is actually June 19th through June 26th this year. We're going to be sharing lots of different information with you today. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed. We want you just to be listening for the threads that you think might bring you joy for you to pick up and hold. And we have many wonderful speakers, my teammates, who will be sharing some incredible information with each of you. We'll be having breakout sessions in a little bit, where you can choose topics that that may be one of the threads that you want to pick up. We'll go into details of some of the different roles that we are aspiring us, to find ways to play different roles. And we're just so excited that you're here. And my amazing sister Priya Matani, I'd like to invite her to just say hello too, and and share her joy too. We've been working behind the scenes to bring this event, these assemblies together, and we're just so grateful. Hi, Priya.
Hi, Becky, and hello, everybody. I'm just so grateful and so happy to see you all. It's really wonderful to be here, and it's so incredible to see so many friendly, familiar faces and people that I know that I've yet to know and come to love also. My journey also started with World Unity Week last year with my dear friend Jude, who I can see. Hello, Jude. It's lovely to see you. And since that time, I've just been blessed to meet the most extraordinary amount of people working in so many different areas of society. And it's just been such a pleasure and honor to connect and deepen together with you all. I know that this time before World Unity Week is going to be extraordinarily powerful. I feel it's a bit like being as if we've got cosmic wind behind us. There's something really incredible that happened at World Unity Week last year, as those of you who are there will already know, and those of you who are new will certainly find out. So I'm really so happy to be part of World Unity Week team and to get to know all of you much better too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priya. And now we're just so excited to introduce John Raymer from Sign Network, who is his company is one of the co-producers with Unity Earth. We have many different organizations, and Purpose Earth as well. There are three main co-producers and sponsors of this event, and excited to introduce my partner and my work partner, my sacred work partner is how I refer to John. He's so amazing. It's been such an honor to work with you, John, over this past year on all of these different convergences, and to introduce you right now. Yeah. Hello, brother.
Hello, sister. Hello. Thank you, Priya. And thank you, Becky. And thank you, Ben. I mean, let's just say, it was summer and I traveled to Ethiopia in 2018. And my life has never been the same since. And this is our new world. Here it is. What an incredible year we've all been through. It's humbling. It's profound. It's our destiny. And World Unity Week last year just was a crack in the universe. Looking at you, Anna Marie, know what you did with the caravan and the connections that we've established and the possibilities that we've revealed are amazing. This has been the most miraculous year of my life. I've never seen so much suffering and pain and so much joy and possibility. So we have a great opportunity. And I don't know how to do this, but I know that if I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to do it together. So how do we set the optimal conditions for a worldwide remembering and awakening? How do we set the optimal conditions for a worldwide remembering and awakening to our unity, to our oneness, to our holiness, and to our wholeness? This is on the table. There will be a post-pandemic world, and I don't know what that looks like. And I want us to be a part of shaping and showing that another world really is possible. And I feel that I was born for this. And I also feel as if having a brother like you, Ben, has been such an affirmation. You're so articulate. You are so loving and kind and generous and demonstrate unity. And we're working it out together. Let us stand up together and let us do something. So I want to turn it over to you, Ben. Like so many times when we've been together, it's that unimaginable, unexpressible mystery of it all that says, okay, this is ours to do. Let's do it together. Grateful again to everybody for showing up, and grateful to you, Ben, for your extraordinary leadership.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother John. It's an honor and a joy and a deep commitment to walk by your side and with our beloved growing family of co-creators. Can I just say, if you're not on gallery view, it's a beautiful view on gallery view. It's so wonderful to see all these extraordinary faces, these beloveds, incredible transformational leaders and change makers. This really is a moment as we take our first step together up to World Unity Week, and what we can do together, all of us, when we come together and lift as one. There are eminent scientists, there are extraordinary evolutionary leaders, there are leaders of organizations, there are lifelong, devoted, committed bodhisattvas here in this room. There are indigenous wisdom keepers, there are leaders in the arts and music. This is power. When we come together and lean into the heart of what really wants to come through, there's nothing we can't achieve together when we're aligned with the good and the beautiful and the true, as we are learning and listening to do together. It really is an extraordinary joy to see you all. And I want to we have so many incredible people to hear from. So the format today is going to be listening to some of the co-conveners. We're going to start with a call into Sacred Circle with our beloved Auntie Pat. We're so grateful to have you with us, Pat McCabe. And we're going to begin with that. We have extraordinary spiritual leaders, Miss Audrey Kitagawa. It's a joy to have you with us. And Shramini Arianda, it's so wonderful to have you with us as well. And congratulations on your new role, if not everybody knows, as Interim Executive Director of the United Religions Initiative. And there are so many. Dr. David Sloan Wilson is here, and we're really grateful to have you, David. We look forward to hearing from you soon too. Dr. Jude Caravan. There are so extraordinary and too many to really name, so I shouldn't have started. But there are so many wonderful people. But we're going to hear from some of the co-conveners. Gary, Malcolm, great to see you. Welcome. It's great to have you with us. And we're going to then invite you into some breakouts where we're going to dive a little deeper into what it means to be a co-convener. And I'm going to be leading a discussion to talk about what does it mean as an organization to be a co-convener. We're going to have another breakout. You can choose one of these to go into. John is going to take you through about what does it mean to be a room steward in World Unity Week. Beautiful work that John and Becky have held down over the last year, iterating and doing it again from the up convergence to enlightening our way together to the beloved community, and now getting ready to really bring all of that knowledge and wisdom and technology into World Unity Week. It's really exciting. And then Becky is going to lead a breakout about, for those who may want to get involved at a deeper level with the team, the core team being on the Woo production team or the Wow production team, or is it Woo Woos? We're still figuring it all out. But to really put that invitation out for people who may want to engage at a deeper level. These are just information sessions. And then at the end, there's a form that will capture all of that. So let's take a breath together. And Auntie Pat, it's so beautiful to have you with us, representing such a deep connection to Mother Earth through your tradition and the ancient ones and the holy ones that are with us.
Say good morning to each and every one here. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself. Very honored to be here with you this morning. Very honored to come together for a common purpose. to acknowledge the truth that we are interbeing, that the well-being of one is the well-being of all. That we have been given a sacred seat on the sacred hoop of life as the five-fingered ones. And we live with all of our relations there. It takes all of us having the full ability to enact our perfect design for thriving life in order for us to have thriving life for all. So I just want to acknowledge the flying ones, the swimming ones, creepy crawling ones, the four-legged ones here on this day. I want to acknowledge all the waters, sacred water of life. I want to acknowledge the mountains. I want to acknowledge all of the standing nation, our tree relatives, plants. Just want to acknowledge all the life that we've been placed among. And I want to acknowledge that all of our relatives, all of our relations live their lives, conduct their lives in such a way that their life causes all other life to thrive. Every robin, every platypus, every dragonfly, every stone. So I'm feeling this symphony of life. And with you, I'm reaching out for our song. I'm reaching out for the human being song that harmonizes with all the rest of the life. There is a way for us to be here. There is a way for us to be here that causes all other life to thrive. And we know parts of it in our hearts, in our bodies, in our spirits, and even in our minds. And now is the time for us to step into this symphony of life in a harmonious way, in a way that uplifts, in a way that causes the rhythm of life to leap in joy. That is our destiny, to live with all of our relations as one sacred hoop, thriving in full integrity. So I want to send out a prayer at this time. Holy people all around, it's me, Wiyakpa, Najin Ween, coming before you on this holy day in Patukile. Wopila, here. Take a good look at us, Holy Spirit. Take a good look at us, Holy Mother Earth. Take a good look at us, whole community of life. Take a good look at us, our spiritual helpers and community surrounding us, swarming us. See that we are gathered. See the purpose for which we are gathered. To remember who we are and how we're all related. We open a way for that very highest possibility for life, light, and love to make its way deeply into our circle here as we send our intention and amplify our own heart's desire for peace, for harmony, for clarity, for joy, for life, for thriving. We reach out to you and see our willingness. Guide and direct us. Guide and direct this time we are setting aside to acknowledge this unity earth. Open up those doorways and make them visible to us, to all of our relations who are only waiting for this positive word, for this positive outlook, for this knowing of the power of life and the power of love and the power of light. Let our prayer, let our actions, let our words open all the ways that are possible for us to open at this time, for a harmony to come, for a recognition of the beauty and the blessing of this life. Let each one of us in every day during this time, as we move forward towards this Unity Week, show us all the opportunities to participate fully in this prayer, in this way of reconciliation and harmony and beauty, all the way around the sacred hoop of life. Wopera, thank you, thank you, thank you for giving us this day and for this impulse. We receive your guidance, we receive your strength, we receive your willingness, we receive all the beauty. And we put it forward with our words and thoughts and actions, moving in a good way. We do this so that people can live. We want to live. We want to live with all of our relations. Thank you. Thank you for coming when we call. Thank you for receiving us. Thank you for the way in which you're going to take care of this time and us. Thank you for the answer to this prayer. Oh, mitakuye oyasu.
Beautiful. Thank you, Auntie Pat. Thank you so much. Yes. We say yes. Brother Mindahi, are you there? Brother Mindahi, if you are there, come in, come in. Come in. Hello, brother.
Yes, brother. I'm here.
Brother Mindahi, it's wonderful to have you with us from the fountain and from your beautiful work through your ancestral line. We would love to hear a blessing from you, brother.
Oh, thank you. Hush, 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 hush. Ush. Tocar mekten zaki, tocar mekten muy. Kama de makimu, kama de makita dihmewa. Raso koihi, raso koihimo. Ine kion kiki. Chi kwada, chi ku, chi akti, chi dada, chi nana. Nanshime hoi, makame, makata, dihmewa. Ine kion kiki, chi shalamui, chalashudi, chi chikulu. Chi that's Nangingu 50 shimoi kebupu. Nangingu 50 shimoi kebupu. Nangingu 50 shimoi kebupu. Yo ya no kembari, yo ya no kemeti. Kamadi simbari. Tasuko ihmi, rasuko ihi. With the permission of the 4 sacred elements of life, the heart of Mother Earth and the heart of Father Sky, and the celestial bodies, Grandpa, and Earth, Grandma Moon, Father Son, and the 4 directions. To the Tlanchana and to the Shinantecas beings. We are here today for this unity effort, for this unification process. Remembering who we are as human beings, remembering why we are here, and that we honor our ancestors so we can think in the future generations to come. We are here to remember that we are just for a while, not forever. Even the feathers vanishes, even the houses are gone. But the transcendence that we are delivering through the sacred walking is what is going to last forever. Remembering that we came from the sky, from the Pleiades, and that we are in the sky as well. We pray to the rivers of the sky and we pray to the rivers underneath. So the rivers on the surface of skin of Mother Earth are alive. Remembering that we came here as human species and that ever since some thousands years ago, we are misbehaving. And just the original nations, we are keeping some of those original structures, how to take care, how to give care of life. Our mission here in this world is to take care and give care of life. Because we are a family, we are the rainbow. And if there is a color lacking, there is no rainbow. Our family is reflecting in the rocks, in the minerals, is reflecting in the river, in the mountain, in the sacred places. So we are the sky, we are the earth, we are the blood of Mother Earth, and we are all together. Blessings to this gathering, to this planning gathering, blessings to you all, and blessings to your family and to your sacred territories. Hush, 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 hush. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you.
Kamadi. Thank you, Brother Mindani. Thank you so much. Deep, deep gratitude. Wonderful. Thank you. We've begun in a good way, in a sacred way, in the right way. And thank you for those beautiful words, Brother John. I want to just say, everything we do from here on is in partnership. Everything we do is collaboration and synergy and teamwork. And we're learning, we're getting better. We're practicing and we're learning by doing, all of us together. John is relentless pioneer in this regard, and the Sign Network has been such an extraordinary eruption over the last years. I've been blessed to witness it and be a part of it. And it is truly part of that great super organism that is arising on the planet. And, in the spirit of partnership, what groups can do together. We're going to hear a little bit later from David Sloan Wilson, what groups can do and achieve together when working for a common purpose is just so exciting. And one of the key partnerships in this time zone, if you like, which was created, we have 2 of these gatherings of leaders today to cover the round planet. And in the time zone that this pulse is really designed for, which is Europe, Middle East, Africa, India, and the British Isles. There are many key leaders. One very, very significant one is Anna Marie Verhoeven from the Hague Center, who's really just such an incredible global network in their own right, and a very potent and powerful co-convener of World Unity Week. So Anna Marie, it's wonderful to have you with us. Good afternoon to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, all of you, Ben, John, Becky, all of us here. I'm really very happy to be able to be of service on such a scale, because that is what, well, I have been longing for and working for and practicing in all these different parts of the world and all these different ways of coming together. Really dedicated to co-create from the universal heart and attuned to the cosmic beat. Learned about that with Jude Caravan and Irvin Laszlo and others, and to see how we can find ways of really working together that has an impact to serve life for all, as Grandmother Pat just so beautifully said, and Mandai as well. And I think that's really what we are wanting to be stewards for. How can we come together? How can we share our learnings and see how we can be rooted in this whole worldview, planetary consciousness, however we want to name it, but where we know very clearly that we are all interconnected, interrelated, multidimensionally present here now, with a respect and a deep connection also to our past and also to the emerging future and how that comes together. And so, yeah, our inquiry all the time is, which piece of the puzzle do I hold, do you hold? And how can we bring these pieces together? And how can we see that that lights up, and that really lights up different parts in myself, in you, in each other? And what kind of ways of working together, what kind of governance supports that? What kind of connections do we need to have with each other whilst we're on that journey? And whilst we're going to be having these weekly calls to really learn about that, the feedback loops, feed forward loops, or lifelines, maybe we could preferably call them, what is needed to serve that? And yeah, I think it's really a call to all of us, because we learned that, and that's also what was shared in the opening so beautifully, we all matter. We all hold a piece. And let that coming together be guided by the universal heart that can encompass all life on Earth. And that is what we are here to serve, not me alone, but also the Hague Center team is really dedicated to serve here. So thank you for the invitation and for playing along the line. Thank you.
Beautiful, Anna Marie. Thank you so much for the deep, powerful yes that you are stepping into with this, from the Hague Center for Global Governance, Co-Creating Europe, and all of those networks coming together. And for those of you in that part of the world, we're going to be initiating a weekly pulse starting now on Wednesdays next week, World Unity Wednesdays. We're going to have a morning call and a PM call, and that's going to be really covering that British Isles and Europe, Africa, Middle East, and India area of the world. So that's going to be 12 p.m. Central European time, and Anna Marie and Priya and I'm sure Jude and many others I'll be there as well. That'll be a very important weekly pulse. Ulrich for you in Germany, and Mira Michelle, many others there in Germany, to build up as we build up and connect and convene and begin this road up to World Unity Week together. We're just on 70 people here. I see Jan and Shelley there, beautiful couple in Jerusalem. So that puts us to 70. We'll hear a little bit later about the World Water Law and the beautiful work that's happening there. But it reminds me, John, that we were 70 people in Ethiopia. And it's extraordinary what's happening there now. There are programs and events about feeding and uplifting poverty in Lalibela that some of the networks have initiated as a result of that trip, and so many other incredible things. So we should never underestimate the power of what we can achieve together particularly with a powerful group like this. So I want to throw to that in light of that. It's really wonderful to have Dr. David Sloan Wilson here with us, because David comes from a different part of the world map, if you like, in the sense of coming from evolutionary biologist and being an eminent, high-profile scientist who's done extraordinary work in the field of how group selection really does select for altruism over selfishness. It's an incredible convergence of science and conscious evolution movement. And we're delighted to be weaving deeper with David's organization, Pro-Social World. In fact, our team is, we're very fortunate, we're going to be doing the program of Pro-Social over the next 6 to 8 weeks, which we're really excited about, David. And it's tremendous to have you as an ambassador for World Unity Week, and also to have Pro-Social as a co-convening organization. It's really a great sign that we're on the right track together. And it's wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. And it's an honor, a true honor to be here. And I think that if we're going to succeed at World Unity, we need to weave 4 strands together into a strong braid. And those strands are spirituality, the arts, technology, and science. Spirituality, the arts, technology, and science. We know we need technology because we wouldn't be here without it, would we? And so the more technology, the better. That's the only way that the earth can be furnished with a nervous system, that we could all be together no matter where we are physically located. And as for the science part, that's the part that's been, I think, in shortest supply for these efforts. And there's a reason for that, which is that until very, very recently, the science, including the science of evolution, has been all about selfish genes and competition and evolution having no purpose, and really providing a very thin ground for an effort such as this. And it's only been very recently that there's been a sea change in the scientific study of evolution, so that we're beginning to understand what it means for anything to be an organism, and how just maybe we can turn the whole earth into a organism. And when you think of ourselves as organisms, the fact that we're composed of trillions of cells all working together in a symphony of cooperation, that's what we need to accomplish for the whole earth. And I'll quickly list 3 things that illustrate what a challenge it is, and to ask you to think about not the whole earth, but just the groups that you work with in order to get things done, including this particular effort. And just think about the challenges of cooperation. Of course, we want to cooperate, we're well-meaning, but often we fail despite that. Then there's flexibility. How capable are we of changing? We want to change, but often it's hard to put one foot just in front of the other. And we also want to work together, but so often we find ourselves as islands and not able to really compare ourselves and learn from each other. And for all of these 3 things that we find challenging, even at the scale of our own interactions, it turns out that now that science strand has a lot to offer. And so what we bring is knowledge, for example, from Elinor Ostrom, who won the Nobel Prize in economics, and mindfulness-based practices, therapeutic and training practices, which can be thought of as a scientific branch of spiritual mindfulness. And so that's what we're trying to bring with the science strand of this process. And it's been a great honor to work with Ben and quite a few of you, including Anne-Marie. And I'm so glad you talked about such things as feedback loops, which is beginning to think about how we must function like an organism. Think of all the feedback loops and regulatory circuits that exist in a real organism. So it's a grand project evolving the future, and evolving at the scale of the whole earth. It is multiple levels. I think John said earlier, or maybe it was you, Ben, we do not lose our identities, our current identities in this process. We acquire a global identity, and then we bring our other identities in service to that. And so all of the different layers of our identities, all the way back to our self-identities and the small groups that we work with, which are the cells of larger organisms, all of those remain and must remain strong as we combine into a global organism. And I'm so happy to be a scientist welcomed into your midst. Thank you.
That's so wonderful, David. You're very, very welcome. And we're excited to be connecting and weaving and walking together with you and with the other leaders in pro-social worlds, Paul Atkins and Jeff Gunn. Kate Sheehan Roach is here. Hi, Kate. Great to see you as well. And there's a beautiful emergent relationship between spirituality and science that's coming with David's work connecting to Father Thomas Keating's work through the agency of Kate and Jeff. Beautiful things are coming together and becoming even more beautiful and rich. I love that, David, that you break it down for us. That's to really, achieve our goal here, which is world unity, which we all know, I feel on this call, that really starts in the heart of ourselves. And then to manifest it on the planet, spirituality, art, technology, and science. That's a really good thing for all of us to hold as we walk forward together. This is so wonderful. Another brilliant visionary thinker, scientist, and philosopher, and spiritual evolutionary leader is the amazing Dr. Jude Currivan. And actually it was Jude, when you said yes last year, which was in April, we just, somehow World Unity Week had emerged. And you were really one of the very first significant groups to say yes to co-convening. It really empowered us to go so much further into the work. So we're grateful to have you with us today, dear Jude. And I know you're also working in a beloved way with the coherence of World Unity Week, for which we're very grateful, stewarding a group that is focusing on that. So it's a joy, Jude Currivan, to have you with us.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, everyone. My goodness, so many old friends and new friends I'm just meeting. So thank you again. And thank you for your beloved and sacred opening to this gathering, our circle, our hoop, because it feels to, I think, all of us that this is a profound, profound framework for all that we do together. As David, a brilliant evolutionary scientist, talks of, when organisms mature, they cooperate, they come together, and they become synergistic. They become something that is greater than the sum of their parts. And it seems to me that we're weaving, but we're being woven into remembering and rehearting that we are cells of the cosmic life, cells of Gaia's life. And just as we're a community of cells, as a community, we are cellular beings. I talk a lot about metamorphosis as the process we're in now, rather than crisis. And it seems to me as the old unsustainable fragmentations break down, we are linking up and lifting up to help become, with many, many others, the imaginal selves of our evolutionary destiny. And so when Ben and I spoke a little while ago, Ben, you asked how I felt about this year's World Unity Week, having been such a sort of a loving, supportive partner to us all last year. And I felt that we could add to this year a whole new level that I called up coherence, so that on a daily basis, even on a virtual basis, and perhaps coming together as small groups, what we can do is we can co-create this emergent field of consciousness, this evolutionary impulse, to align with it, to attune with it, to really understand what the cosmos, what Gaia, what all her children, what all the realms of awareness are asking us to step forward together and serve. So that up coherence will be a very simple, not more than space holding. It's really more of the excitement of this adventure, of this emergent field of consciousness as it weaves us. And so, in any evolutionary process, having a sense of a unifying framework, which we have, having a sense of an evolutionary purpose, which we have, then allows our unity, the power of our unity, to be expressed in the strength of our diversity. And as that happens, we can all not just link up and lift up, but level up and light up together through this incredible and ongoing moment and destiny to come together in as a coherent, synergistic superorganisms my dear friend Julie Kroll talks so beautifully about. So I'm looking forward to us all being as well as doing this incredible moment of opportunity and to be together with all of us. So thank you. Thank you, Ben, for the invite. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this.
Beautiful, dear Jude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for that offering of that gorgeous group which has come together to work on the coherence for World Unity Week is a great blessing. There are so many extraordinary beings here. It's really wonderful. Tezekiah, it's great to have you with us. Pathways to Peace, of course, Avon Madison is here with us as well. Professor Peter Blaise Corcoran there with a beautiful jungle background. It's really delightful to see Victoria Friedman from the Unity Earth Board in America. This is just an extraordinary gathering. I do want to invite Audrey, if you are still present with us, Audrey, I see, we would so love to have and hear from you in your role last year as chairperson of the Parliament of World Religions. You were very active in World Unity Week through your agency. Beloved Jane Goodall came and did a program, and many wonderful things are happening. Now, it's a truly exciting time for you and all of us because of the emergence of this new platform that you're bringing, the multicultural International Academy for Multicultural Cooperation, and the beautiful work that you are already begun. And Audrey, it's tremendous joy, as always, to have you with us in the space.
Well, thank you so much, Ben. And it is really a privilege to be with everyone here and the exciting opportunities that our convening presents for the next evolutionary step in the flow of human consciousness to move to the higher realms. And this is the important work that we can do because it is a transformation not only of consciousness, but our hearts. And it has always been part of sacred text and literature that we move from that sacred ground of being and all of the many ways that we can be the expressions of that sacred ground of being based upon our values that are ever guided by the power of our love that is an inherent aspect of who we truly are. And to really promote and understand amongst all peoples of diverse culture and spiritual traditions, the way in which we can truly join hands and cooperate together. And perhaps some of our scientists on this call were friends with Dr. Hans-Peter Duhr, the very eminent quantum nuclear physicist who has since passed away, may God rest his soul. But he traveled the world using the one word, cooperate, cooperate, cooperate. And he said that in the unseen world, it is the paradigm by which the photons, the bosons, and all of these wonderful elements understand to work together. And that this paradigm must be modeled in the manifest world. And it is our duty to be able to bring this paradigm more and more to the forefront of our consciousness and our actions, because it is through this paradigm that we can be the exemplars of why it is so important to be in community cooperating together. The paradigm is made magnified in this initiative, and so it has my full support. And all the many ways in which the gifts that we bring to this lifetime can be expressed and shared with others. And it is in the wisdom of our experiences and the power of our hearts to love and to care for each other that we will magnify this opportunity, and may its power be truly transformative of the hearts and minds and spirits of people all around the world, that we may move with our highest ethical standards and be speaking the truth and communicating in open and respectful ways with each other. And I am very confident that the good hearts and the goodwill of everyone on this call will work assiduously together to make that a living reality. And so I am filled with joy to be able to have this very privileged and wonderful opportunity to be with all of you.
Thank you, beloved Audrey. So beautiful, so wonderful. It is exciting what we can be together when we come together in the heart. And the heads are there, the minds have their place, and strategy and communication and decision making. I mean, brilliance of John with using the technology. There's a place for the mind. There's absolutely a great servant, and we need it. But being heart led, and I feel, Audrey, that's really something that you are. And many are really guiding us to lean into the heart in this deep. This is beyond collaboration. This is another level of a mystical union which is coming together, and it's really the only way for us to do this work, is to be something different, to do something that we haven't done before, and that's really the collective invitation here. And just feel the deep resonant yes from all of our beings into this space. We really are very honored to have with us someone who I've met in several places along the journey, in India and Parnath Nikatan, when she was working there as director of the Wash Alliance and doing incredible work for social justice and refugees. John and I had the privilege to meet recently with Shramini Adityanda Saraswati, an incredible work, a lifetime of service, really. For poor and for the suffering, and now is interim executive director of the United Religions Initiative, who are such a key partner for Unity Earth and for the Sign Network and everybody coming together. So Shwamini, it's really wonderful to have you with us, and we're delighted to have you also as an ambassador for World Unity Week, and to have the URI walking heart to heart, shoulder to shoulder with all of us in this journey.
Thank you so much, Ben. And I am so grateful to be in all of your presence. Hearing your words today, the prayers today, the unity today has brought me to tears. And I'm so glad we can be on this journey together. I was thinking this morning that while we're going through the terrible pandemic of the COVID, our world is also going through two silent pandemics. The first one I call it's okay-ism. It's okay-ism, which tears apart our world when we see something that's wrong, or we are about to do something that we think may not quite be right. And we say, it's okay. What can I do? It's okay, I'll do it. Or it's okay, I'll turn the channel. The other pandemic is it's just them-ism. It's just them. What can I do? They're poor people. I'm sure they're used to it. They're in a country that's torn by war. I'm sure they're used to it. What can I do? It's so far away. I see someone homeless on the street. It's okay. I see someone, whether it be in my family or anywhere else. It's okay. What can I do? I'm busy today. It's okay is the reason why 1 billion people go to sleep hungry every night. It's okay is the reason why so many people go thirsty. It's just them-ism is the reason why needless suffering continues. The reason why people are violent to each other. the reason why tens of millions of people have become refugees, genocide victims, war victims. The reason why we think we are different from one another. As it was beautifully said by David a little while ago, we are all part of the same organism. We are all one, supporting each other in ways we don't even know. My breath has just fed a tree, which brings oxygen back to you. We are part of a beautiful world. And as one, we can do some good for it. But united, through unity, we can do great things. We can eliminate these terrible plagues of it's okayism, it's just themism. Let us, through our hearts and hands, come together, remain together, and do great things together, because we can. While there's still blood pumping through our hearts, we can. It's up to us. And I'm so grateful that we can be united on this day and with God's grace for many, many, many days forward. I thank you so much, and I bow to you all.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Shromini. Adityanda. That is beautiful. What a joy and a blessing to have your presence with us, and that spirit of what you are bringing around. Let's do something together. Let's do something about it. Let's stand together and let's work together, and let's not just accept the way things are. Let's come together and make a difference. And, you know, our theme this year really is right in tune with that. In fact, it is that. Last year, the theme was answering the call, which was very much a kind of a mystical beginning to the journey. And now it's about let's do something, and really together. And around that theme, it can be let's do something for the climate. Let's do something for the poor. Let's do something for water. Let's do something for all of life. There are many elements, notes that can be added to that core message of let's do something. This is exciting. This really is thrilling to feel into and to experience this energy of what we can be together when we're not waiting for permission from governments or institutions or, you know, collective bodies of history. We're here, and we're saying yes to that call that Pat and Mindani and all of us have brought to this circle. And where can that bring us? We're not going to get there with the tools of the old world. We're not going to be able to do this using the old forms and structures. We can utilize everything of value, and something new is emerging through this spirit which just says, yes, I'm in, take me there. It's a mystery, and I'm in. And everyone here has been touched by that. Everybody here has been called by that same urge to come together into the mystery, to do something, not just to be together in beautiful ceremony and music and prayer, which we love and is important and will always be a part of who we are. And let's show up in the world, and let's really manifest this. Let's land this over the next years. Let's do this now. And we are doing it. So it's a tremendously exciting, thrilling moment. Now, as we start to do that, new names come in, new ideas, new songs, this idea of singing a new song, and naming a new name. And I'm really delighted to have an incredible global visionary with us as well. Nautilus award-winning author, founder of Good of the Whole, the one and only Dr. Julie Krull. And Julie, you've got a beautiful offering to help us think at a bigger level about what's emerging here.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everyone. I've written down so many quotes from everyone because we're speaking it into being. We're singing those songs right now. It's so beautiful. So I love all these quotes from all the different speakers. You know, this morning I heard a really important message. We're not building a superorganism. We are a superorganism. And there's a shift here. So just to bring this into our consciousness, we are a conscious, cosmic superorganism with superpowers. And I'm going to share the superpowers here in a minute, but we all know superorganisms on the planet. We hear about bees. They're a superorganism. Ants, mushrooms, aspen trees in the forest. We hear about the mycelial network and the connectedness and how they work. And there's a few things that we've learned from superorganisms about who we are and where we're going. Superorganisms work with distributed leadership. That's what we're doing right now, building World Unity Week in distributed leadership. There's collective intelligence. We learn how to really connect in that collective intelligence and harvest from there. There's swarm creativity. I love that one. That's what's brought World Unity Week all together. We come together with our creativity and say, we can do this. Let's do this. We respond from that place. Superorganisms are self-organizing, and they function with reciprocity and generosity and sharing. Because what you don't need, I need, and what I don't need, you need. And we learn how to function in this regenerative pattern. So regenerative for future generations. David Sloan Wilson and Dr. Jude Curvan both mentioned evolution and biology, and we are on the precipice of birthing this new species that, if we look at evolution with every species on the planet, we leave adolescents, which are all about competition and self development, and we leap forward into those cooperative communities that care for all life. And that's who we be as this superorganism that we are. We are building cooperative communities that care for all life, because we are a superorganism. And it's not just that we are a superorganism with humanity, that we're connecting. Now we're building networks on technology. No, this is inherent in our capacities. We are this with all life, with plants, with animals, with our Mama Gaia Earth, but with the stars. And this is who we be. We are a beautiful superorganism. And so as we remember ourselves, John said, this is one of my quotes, how do we create the optimal conditions for a worldwide awakening and remembering of our unity, of our wholeness, of our holiness? And this is the opportunity we have with World Unity Week. I'm so excited that we could come together and weave this. So I want to just drop in a few words that we can begin to really look at this new metaphor of who we be and really understand our interconnectedness. Because there's a few things that are really important. We have our superpowers and we have the consciousness. And Jude Curvan says, we don't have consciousness, we are consciousness. Think about that. We don't have consciousness, we are consciousness. And you're going to hear from Shelley and Jan about water. And we don't have water. Yeah, we're 99.something% water, and water is in all life on this planet, all life. But we don't have water, we are water. We don't have consciousness, we are consciousness. And these are those unified fields that we get to learn and grow into that are going to guide us forward. This impulse of evolution that's creating our remembering, that's creating the awakening, that's building those networks and infrastructures that Anne-Marie has talked about. That impulse of creation, that impulse of evolution is leading us forward. So here's 4 superpowers that we all get to ground in. Number 1, you heard Jude talk about coherence. Coherence and resonance between us. It's a really important piece that helps us to really listen to that impulse and work and move forward with more gusto, with more purpose, with more evolutionary purpose. So building coherence helps us tap into that evolutionary purpose, and that is essential superpower. Resonance between us, coherence, And I want to add, Barbara Marks Hubbard, Catherine Roski, and Carolyn Anderson are 3 mentors that have written about co-creation. And co-creation is another one of those superpowers for the superorganism that we are. Co-creation isn't just cooperation or collaboration or building the synergy here. They define co-creation as those who are aligning with this super intelligence, who are aligning with the impulse of creation, impulse of evolution, God, creator, source, however you want to say it. We align with that, and then we come together with others who are in that space. This is who we be right here, right now on this call. This is who we are. It's beautiful. We are co-creating together. And you're going to learn how to do that in the breakout rooms. And the 4th, Ben already mentioned, heart-led. Another superpower for us is to be a heart-led person within a cell, within the superorganism. So I'm going to leave you with one more term that I'm using now as we look at the mycelial network. When you think of mushrooms, we can literally see how they connect on the planet underground. We don't see it with our eyes above ground. We just see individual mushrooms. But there's this beautiful mycelial network that connects everything, like the water, like the consciousness. I'm using the term mycelial network. My soul, here we are, here we be. Let us nurture this innate capacity, nurture our mycelial network, and be as one as we move toward World Unity Week. Thanks, Ben, for this opportunity, and thank you all for saying yes and showing up and being a part of the mycelial network, our superorganism that we are. Thanks.
Yeah, right on, Dr. Julie Krull. That is awesome sauce. Did anybody catch those 4 superpowers? Please put them in. I got heart-led, but let's get those 4 superpowers in there. And I love this framework of a superorganism, Julie. That's great. To distributed leadership, collective intelligence, swarm creativity. It feels so right for what we are experiencing, becoming in this place and space together. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Julie Krull, for being with us and sharing that exciting, enthralling wisdom with us as we gather to distribute the leadership in collective intelligence and swarm creativity. How exciting! It's so powerful. And if we get the 4 superpowers in there, that would be great. We have coherence, co-creation, heart-led. Thank you, Janice Hall. We did have Marty K. Casey come. Is Marty still with us, or did Marty have to leave the room? Marty, are you there?
I think she just left.
She just left. Okay. Well, one thing that's really important is that this is very much a volunteer initiative, and we will be talking about that in the breakout rooms. Volunteer is not even the right kind of word. It's much more than that. It's co-creation. It's a genuine co-creation of so many change makers, but it does take money as well. And we have an incredible primary sponsor, which many of you know, is Purpose Earth. And for anyone who doesn't know Purpose Earth, it's good to know about for lots of reasons, not least of which is they're giving away grants to transformational change makers right around the planet. And already in their first year, they launched in World Unity Week with an incredible opening show, which creative director Rhiannon Catalyst is here from Purpose Earth, and also with World Unity Week as well, which I'm delighted about. But Purpose Earth is our primary sponsor. They're extremely generous. Emmanuel and Laura couldn't be with us at this meeting, but they're with us in spirit. And they're also supporting the financial needs, certainly a good portion of them, to get this done as the teams come together, heart-led, to really make this happen. It does also take resources and funding as well. So on behalf of Purpose Earth this time round, but wearing many other hats, including Bala Gaia and now World Unity Week, Rhiannon, you're amazing. The work you've done with Purpose Earth to really, the production level that you and Lawrence and the team have done there, the creativity and the brilliance and professionalism and the heart. We've been connected on this journey. You were the creative director for the Liftoff in New York, Unity Earth Liftoff, if anybody was connected to that. But it's wonderful to have you with us, Sister Rhiannon.
Thank you so much, dear brother Ben, and everyone here. What an incredible gathering of heart, minds, and spirits, and dedicated evolutionary leaders. Thank you so much for the beautiful blessings, Auntie Pat and Brother Mandahi. Thank you for the marriage of spirit and science that's being presented. I am so blessed to meet those of you who I'm just meeting now, and to join together with those of you who have become family to me. We are all new family here today. And looking around, what a blessing it is to be here in the spirit of oneness and unity. While being present with you all, I feel the incredible power of this moment and know that we are also seeing the future, the bright, beautiful, diverse mystery and beauty of our collective call to recreate culture and unify humanity has brought us together to rise to this monumental occasion and opportunity. And I thank you deeply for this chance to co-create and weave with you all. I thank you for the love that you're all carrying, the wisdom that you're all carrying in the world, and for saying yes to this invitation. I gratefully acknowledge I have the honor of working on land that is the home of the Lenni Lenape people. I recognize their continuing connection to land, waters, and culture, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Purpose Earth is so excited to be primary sponsors of World Unity Week. And I'd love to share with you a bit of the action that we're all taking together, driven by our hearts and devotion to unity consciousness. Many of you have joined us in co-creating the programs Ben mentioned this year, and we thank you with our full hearts. For those who haven't yet experienced Purpose Earth, I would love, please, to allow me to share with you some of our mission and vision and what we've been doing so far. Purpose Earth is a global initiative to raise funds and spirits. We believe purpose is the most powerful tool for transformation. It's this belief that inspires our mission to support purpose-driven people and projects with creative solutions to our global challenges. We envision a world that works for everyone, co-created by a unified culture of peace, and empowers and supports one another to live and act from a place of purpose. We fund deeply inspiring and diverse grassroots projects around the globe, specifically in the areas of community activation and environmental restoration, with a focus on projects that don't yet have a long track record of funding established, as we know that supporting and nurturing the seeds of grassroots change, passionate and purpose-driven projects is key to creating a future that works for us all. Another thing that distinguishes us from many organizations is that we provide mentorship along with funding, believing deeply in sharing the amazing, diverse wisdom of our grants council, our team, our community, working very carefully to match mentors with our grant recipients. And many of you are here now, and we are so grateful for all of that wisdom we can share with the world. So we're working to truly support and celebrate the unfolding stories of our amazing Changemaker recipients and connecting communities of purpose together with Unity Earth and World Unity Week. Through our cultural events and fundraising efforts to date, we have given $184,000 to 22 projects in 15 countries. And we're still just beginning. All here now know we are at an incredible turning point in our human history. As Brother John shared, I have seen more suffering and more joy than ever before in my life this year. And we know what an opportunity stands before us. We've already answered this call. It is already beginning, and we are all learning together. And that is such a blessing. This is why Unity Earth and Global Purpose Movement channeled collective inspiration and energy to launch Purpose Earth. And this is why Purpose Earth is sponsoring World Unity Week. By inspiring, empowering, and supporting each other to live and take action from our unique senses of purpose, driving change from our beautifully interconnected missions, we know we can co-create a world that unifies us all. Over the past year, Purpose Earth has built an incredible team and grants council to launch the organization and create a series of deeply heart-driven programs weaving art, music, Indigenous leaders, social justice leaders, youth leaders, scientists, and conscious activists with incredible, gifted, purpose-driven hosts, Lila June, Shamini Jan, Marty K. Casey, and our beloved visionary founder, Manuel Kunzelman, and our dear brother, Ben Bowler, who is such an inspiration to me. All of you are. Every program has been lovingly designed to tell an interwoven story, weaving together the stories of us all while inspiring action. Purpose Earth is so excited to co-create programs for World Unity Week once again this year. And Purpose Earth has become the primary sponsor of World Unity Week so that we can all be the architects together of a beautiful place, a whole systems field, interactive celebration, and illuminating network of experiences designed to lift us all up. What an incredible time to be alive. We have the opportunity, the responsibility, the joy of creating a more sustainable, just, compassionate world together, of unfolding our wings from this collective cocoon. The great global pause. Many of us have not really paused, but taken great time to contemplate where to go from here, and recreating how we gather and create culture together as we sculpt and shift what this looks like and feels like when we come together across the globe, create a new future for our human family. We are so excited to join forces, to deepen our relationships, co-create and support this powerful platform that will amplify the voices and visions of every person and organization here. Because we all need to rise together. We also want to help others hear and feel that call to rise. It's time, and we know, as my sister Becky so beautifully reminds us, that this can be reverent and joyful. So thank you to everyone, my dear family and relatives who tilled the soil and lovingly built the monumental achievement that was World Unity Week in 2020. I am so excited to grow and deepen the co-creative process with you all this year. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to weave with you all. What we build and create together now will be like nothing the world has ever seen and experienced before. Nothing that has ever been done before. We will all support each other in this monumental effort. We know that what we do matters deeply and is felt and echoes for generations after us. We are all catalysts, all agents of loving change. Purpose Earth is honored to be a driving force for World Unity Week, working together hand in hand in this co-creative process. And we are so grateful, I am so grateful to be connected to every one of you. Thank you.
Beautiful, Rhiannon. Thank you so much. Beautiful. It is a wonderful eruption, Purpose Earth. It's a bright mystery, and it's doing beautiful, incredible work, touching groups from Africa to Europe to South America, right across the planet. We do have one of our eminent grant council members with us, who's also a senior advisor to Unity Earth. So it feels wholly appropriate, Peter Blaise Corcoran, to call on you for a few words in the beautiful place that you are. We'll get you off mute. You're on mute somehow.
Thank you, Ben. Old men with technology. Can you hear me now?
We got you. We got you.
All right. Thanks. I had wanted to say a little bit about Purpose Earth, but Rhiannon, that was so complete and beautiful. Thank you so much. You really captured it. I think the only thing I might add, Ben, is that if you want to share a bit about the arrangement that we've made, Purpose Earth is really proud to be a sponsor of World Unity Week, and that funds raised during the week will go directly to Purpose Earth grants, which we find very exciting. And without any management fees or costs, all the money that we raise during World Unity Week will go directly to grants. And you never know in these meetings, I always feel like I didn't do my homework when Ben calls on me. I was so moved by all of those small talks of meaning and significance. I feel as though I should have written an essay, Ben. But as long as you called on me, I do want to acknowledge the Indigenous traditions that give so much direction to our work in Unity Earth, in Purpose Earth, and of course in World Unity Week. So thanks to Pat and Mindahi for bringing that spirit in today. And I heard their daughters speaking with them. That was so interesting. But just to say, we're still here in the United States, we're still celebrating the confirmation of Deb Haaland as our Secretary of the Interior with responsibility for tribal lands and so much land and so many programs that directly affect indigeneity in the United States. So Ben, I'm really proud to be part of this. As Rhiannon said, and I hope Dr. Marty will come back, we're thrilled with your support of Purpose Earth and the direction that it's taking. It's really a great sister to Unity Earth.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, Professor Peter Blaise Corcoran. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing that. And that's right, in the Pay It Forward, the spirit of Pay It Forward, World Unity Week is free and given free through the generosity of our sponsors. And we are needing and looking for a handful of other co-sponsors as well, just to announce that. And that all money raised through World Unity Week for people who want to support, 100% of it will go to Purpose Earth and the future grant recipients. So that's right. It's a beautiful design. Well, Brother John, we've come a long way in a period of time. There's superorganisms emerging and amazing co-creators coming together and conveners and amazing people that are heart-led coming into this space and want to do something. What are your reflections, brother?
Well, what I love about the Purpose Earth relationship, we're feeding each other to have the resources to be able to create World Unity Week, and then have the participation in World Unity Week be a gift, but that anyone who chooses to give during World Unity Week will go back to Purpose Earth, and 100% of what they're getting is going out to the grantees. That's the new model. That's an example of what we can do together. You know, a couple things. So it's really great to be here. It's just, and you know, David's book, Atlas Hugged, right, which is a new narrative than the Atlas Shrugged. You know, that's the world of laissez-faire capitalism, where there are the job creators and the moochers. Well, his story is saying, wait a minute, maybe there's another story. And in that book, his story, in 100 days, in a parallel universe, there's a cultural transformation that takes place. And we know that culture eats strategy for breakfast. That's what Peter Drucker said, or has been attributed to saying. And we know that World Unity Week in June is really here right now. It is our way of being with each other. And here's the challenge. We got 100 days. It's just about 100 days to the end of World Unity Week. And I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm willing to give all I got to discover that power within, so we can create that power with. There you go. Oh my gosh, I love that woman. But the power within to create the power with, so we don't have to put the power over. There's a new world waiting for us. And I say, why not each of us look at where we want to be? Who do we want to be? Where do we want the world to be 100 days from now? What's our piece of the puzzle, as Anna Marie says? Why not? What better do you got to do over the next 100 days than empower yourself and create a collective empowerment unlike anything we've ever seen or done before? Let's make history together. We are non-state actors. The world needs something new so we can heal, so we can be real, so that we can really change our direction. You know, the last thing that I want to say is that tremendous story of that 8th fire. That really changed my life. We had during the Enlightening Our Way Together. I just want to show that screen, that one quick story here. This picture, this prophecy, that there would be this golden age that the Anishinaabe people talked about, and that there'd be a time when new people would emerge and they'd be given the choice between these two roads. One that's green and lush and inviting, and the other's black and charred. Well, you know what? In the prophecy, the people decide to take neither road, but to turn back, to remember and reclaim the wisdom of those who came before them, to retrace their steps to find what was left by the trail. Their steps take them to the elders, who they will ask to guide them on their journey. That has been such a calling to me. It's like being able to be authentic and vulnerable and real with each other. Maybe that's one of the things we left along the trail. So I'm in. We're here to serve. I know it's beautiful words from so many of us. We want to turn those into real deeds. There's been so many breakthroughs that have happened in this last year. Donut economics, pro-social behavior, purpose earth. I mean, it's been a year. We're a generation called like none before us. No one's ever seen anything like this on the planet, where all of us are impacted. All of us have a chance to write a new story. So I'm in. I love you for the fact that we can do this. I'm grateful for everyone for showing up. And why not think to yourself, where do you want to be in 100 days? You know, intrapersonal holiness for interpersonal wholeness. That's Patricia Ann Davis's wisdom. That's the Indigenous way. Thank you, Peter, for recognizing that. The fact that we have the relationships we have. Oh my gosh. So let's do it. So let's do something together. And we've got some plans to break out into some groups here. Ben, I'm going to hand it back to you. But I am moved, and I love summer. And we're here with you. Like, this is what we were born for.
John Raymer, you're on fire. And we're all with you, brother. We're all with you, modeling that leadership, co-creational leadership, situational, co-creational leadership. John, you're brilliant. You're a brilliant visionary, and we're just so moved and inspired to support each other. And look at all the people in this room. It's wonderful. Jennifer Kim from the Chicago Peace School, and there are so many incredible. I think Dr. Reverend Deborah Moldo is here. They're just extraordinary change makers that are here in the room. So yeah, we're going to break out.
David Wick is here too.
David Wick, good to see you. Greg Jackson, and Jay Billing. I mean, everybody's doing such extraordinary work in their own right. And we're delighted to get to know you better as we go forward. And one of the ways, and really the intention for this gathering, Monica Willard. So, I mean, what an incredible hero Monica Willard has been for decades. And we're so joyed, Monica, to be walking with the URI with you and Shwamini and Maria and the others. Musi, whose health is returning. Thanks be to God, who's getting better. So this is the joy of being the family awakening together. Our intention here is to give some ramps up so that it's really us all that's doing it. So there are different ways to engage. One is that pretty much everybody here has an organization. To be a co-convener is a really exciting way. It's free, and there are some really exciting ways to engage as a co-convener. So I'll be hosting a breakout on co-convening. Brother John is going to host a really exciting. We're going to have a whole world of Unity Week. So it's going to be, you know, think of it like a big extended themed world. And we're going to have the temple and the forest and the playground and all these different themes in the world. And yes, Gary Malcolm, the music hall, we're going to have it on the world, and you're going to be able to come in and even co-steward a whole space, which means to be a room steward and to be a part of it with others, co-creators, to put together a whole thematic. It could be around justice, it could be around children, it could be around the arts, it could be around science and spirituality. I mean, there's no end to what they can be about. It's whatever's really your calling, your passion, your expertise. John's going to talk about that exciting co-creative element of being a room steward, which really steps into a very operational creative space, and also about doing a presentation. And then Becky is going to lead the breakout on those who really want to get into the granular with us together on Team Woo, unofficially called the Woo Woos. But we are going to be, you know, really working together. So if you feel called to participate, it could be on promotions, it could be on hosting Zoom rooms, it could be on communications, it could be translations. There are so many, and Becky's going to take you into that breakout. So we'll open the breakout rooms in a moment and choose one. We'll be in there for 13 minutes. We just shortened it a little bit, Becky, just in the interest of time. So 13 minutes in the breakout, then we'll come back. We're going to have some sharing, some reflection, some way forwards from here. And I do believe a very special musical offering from our beloved 7-time Emmy. Now I'm nervous to get it wrong. 7-time Emmy award-winning Gary Malcolm. So we've got a lot to look forward to, and a very special poem that's been created during this assembly from Victoria Friedman. And we're going to hear from more co-conveners, including the water law, and which is very important to hold in our hearts as we walk forward together. We think about, let's do something for all of life. There's a lot more to share. So please make sure you stay with us as we get through this. Choose your breakouts. Anna Marie? Oh, the main room.
I think you were also going to share that in the main room, Julie will be speaking about the big picture that we are part of. So there's also that opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you. 100%. So if you're not sure if you feel to go into a breakout around being a co-convener or a room steward or a production team volunteer, you are invited to stay here, where Dr. Julie Krill will facilitate a conversation about the big picture and the visionary. You know, if you want to stay and participate in that, you're welcome to stay here as well. So we'll open the rooms. Thank you, Anna Marie, for that. We'll open the rooms and we'll get in there, and then we'll see you all back in about 12, 13 minutes from now. If you should be able to select the room that you want to go in. So select the room you want to go in. If you need any help, let one of the co-hosts know. They can also, or at least I believe I can put you in a room if you want me to.
You got to scroll all the way down past the names to see the room names. And then you just put your mouse over the number of people that are in it, and it will turn to the word join. I'm leaving. I'll meet you there. If you're interested in presenting or being a room steward, let's talk.
So as John said, you scroll all the way down the breakout rooms and you hover over it and you can join. So if anybody needs any help, I'll stay here for another minute. It's 3:33 in the morning here. It's a beautiful time. Julie will make sure Julie's a co-host so she can control this room.
Ben, Janice Hall needs some help.
Janice, where would you like to go? Janice?
You're on mute, Janice. Okay, our room is getting smaller.
Okay, good luck, Julie. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you. Janice, can you unmute, Janice, if there's something we can help you with? You can't unmute. Put it in the chat, which one you want to go to. Put in the chat, and I'll see if I can move you.
The host would not let me unmute, so maybe I'm just supposed to stay here because I wanted to get to know you better anyway. And I think I'm already kind of set for presenting because some people who don't know in 13 minutes might, anyway. So maybe I'm just supposed to stay here and that's why, so I will. This could always learn more from hanging out with you, Anne Marie and Julie. I wanted to know you because we have so many friends in common, so I'll just stay here. I'm in touch with John a lot.
Okay, thanks, Janice. Thank you. And Anne Marie, you're staying in the room too? Yes. Awesome. Ron Friedman, what can we help you with? You're on mute, Ron. Let me see if I can unmute you. Try that.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I don't see a list of the options. Is Jude Carvin giving a breakout?
No, Jude is not.
She's not here anymore.
Okay. So where are the list of the breakout rooms?
Anne Marie, can you remind us of those? If you go to your participants,
yes,
you can see, it might get really loud. Our emergency siren's going off. I apologize. I don't see it in participants because I have breakout room, Anne Marie, but you should be able to go under
Co-Convenors on information with Ben, or the presenters and room stewards.
It's not showing up for me.
All at the bottom. You have to roll all the way down to the bottom.
I did, and it's not doing that.
I'm at the bottom and I see.
Okay. So where do you want to go?
David Sloan Wilson has left, has he not?
Yeah, he's not. There are only three. One is about the co-convening, one is about presenting, and the other is about the production team.
Okay, the co-convening.
Okay, let me see if I can know if that can work, that I can get.
I'm going to see if I can help too.
Yeah, after I get to the last person, which is Ulrich in Germany, there's nothing under that.
Oh, well, where do you want to go somewhere?
No, I'm going to stay now. I'm just curious as to why I don't see it. So,
okay, well, anybody else wants to go somewhere? Because I can do it for you if you want. Or are we just going to stay here? And let's not lose too much time organizing. Okay.
Okay. Here we are. I'm trying to respond to personal people asking to go there. So we don't have like a formal presentation for this piece. I'm just looking at all these beautiful friends on the screen. Hello. Interested in this idea of wholeness and the vision. Hi, Jack. Good to see you again. Jan and Shelley, Mira, Michelle, so many friends and new friends. So thank you, Anne Marie, for continuing. If anybody hasn't gotten to the room they want, ask Anne Marie and she can move you there. Just send a private chat. So we're remembering ourselves as this superorganism, and it's so exciting to have so many different people with different I say it as skill sets and talents and abilities that Anne Marie was talking about of really building this, understanding ourselves as cells within the super organism that we be, within the one planetary body that we are. So I would just like to open this up for conversation. I don't have anything more, just facilitate us musing into these ideas and that larger vision. And we continue to build, not just with this one global event, but there are many events and many emergent initiatives that are happening with so many different people on every continent in every country around the world as this impulse of evolution moves us. So feel free to unmute yourself or ask to be unmuted, and if that's still on, and jump in for conversation.
I have
Janice.
a comment. Let's see, how do I want to phrase this? First of all, I love my solio. That's just beautiful. One of the things of great interest to me, my last name is Hall, and I'm sort of the hallway that connects people and ideas. And part of what I've been about is helping to create a new lexicon for the new millennium, because there are so many old words that just don't fit and help and describe what we, that new future that we're building, because not everybody sees it. And so the scaffolding that gets spoken about so often in these conversations with this group and this larger group here has been formed, and we see it. We're all, my hashtag is Vision Keeper. So I think that we notice what doesn't work in the world, but a lot of people get stuck there. And so our job as vision keepers is to, it's like meditation. When you start thinking about shopping or sex or something else, you just let that cloud float by and get back on purpose. So that means that when you notice what isn't working, you take that vision and you move it over here under the scaffolding. And we're kind of with our machete creating this new path. And you've just, you know, gifted, and this whole group today, so many beautiful words to describe this. What we're doing, and paint this picture for the greater world who I feel so many people are questing in their heart. They know there's something more than what they see and read and feel in the news, but they don't know how to get from here to there. They don't know where we exist. And I don't want to keep preaching to the converted, as we've done. We've networked together. But how do we get out to Susie Smith in Podunk, Iowa, who feels it and knows it and just doesn't know how to get there? So I really would like to have sort of more of an intentional moment about these words we're all really using and how to anchor them into a new narrative that we're all kind of being in marketing. I'm going to say this quick because I'm here with my 91-year-old mother, and her domino partner is coming, and it'll get noisy in a minute. But how do we anchor some of these words so that we give people a more concrete path to get to where we're building? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely, Janice. Thank you. And I see several people, like, I don't need to respond. I see several people raising their hands and saying yes. So if you feel that emergent impulse to speak, go ahead and unmute yourself and contribute. Jack, was that you next? I was seeing a yes. No? Let me see if I can unmute you, Jack. Try now.
Okay, yeah. You hear me now? I guess you do, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to put in here that if we really want to build another world, a new world, or a world that works for all, I think one of the very important parts of that is an economy that works for all. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of working on that through we, but this is a larger thing. If we are going to continue to depend on the people who run the current economy, I mean, that's what got us here. And I don't really see a lot of alternative economics going on in a real level. And just quickly, how I see it is that for all of us who want a better world have got to get organized and start doing our purchasing from businesses and people who want a world that works for all. And we got to really get that organized and together so that we can put that whole thing together and not just rely on grants. Anyway, I'm going to leave because I know we only got a couple of minutes, but I'd like people to think about that.
Thank you, Jack. There are several alternative economics, and if anyone here knows of different alternative economies, put them in the chat. But there's a network of a lot of different models that are out there. Mm-hmm. And being developed, being looked at, being thought about, being co-created. So there is a network. So hopefully we can help you find that network, Jack, so you can in the right place.
Is this chat going out to the people who are participating? Do we get the chat?
I don't know. That would be a Ben question.
Yeah. No. Yes. Everybody's seeing that, but it's also specifically here. We're seeing it too. And we are very much at the core, indeed, of donut economics as one of the ways now. And it seems to us, what we're learning about it, it's still in the exploring, that it resonates well with also, for example, grandmother Patricia Ann Davis' model, so that she feels, and so there seems to be a way that we're voicing the donut that can resonate with other ancient wisdom traditions, but very, well, we are ramping up to make sure that in World Unity Week, we really have a good thread and stream of around the donut economics experiences.
Okay, any other comment? Murray? Anybody else feeling the impulse to speak? Share.
I just want to share really quickly how excited I am too to be learning about the cities that are implementing donut economics right now, including the city of Amsterdam. And, you know, we're going to have the opportunity to see these models at work now on a global scale. And also, you know, for some of the organizations like Purpose Earth, some of the projects that we're supporting are free trade projects and new, you know, models of business. And I couldn't agree more, Jack, that we need to support companies and individuals who are creating this new world and new economy. I'm really just, you know, I'm beginning to learn so much more right now. And John is very passionate about donut economics too. So if you ever want to share with him, he's a great person to talk to as well.
It seems that, Julie, the time is up of the breakout rooms. Do I do something or do we just leave that?
Someone else just did that. I was just asking you, Anne Marie, if I should click on that, but I think somebody else did do that.
Yeah,
so
okay, good.
You shall be joined by everyone else real soon. Yeah. Janice wants to speak again. So does Mira Michelle. Janice, keep it really brief. So no, Mira? Okay. Janice, let's see. Try that again.
I just want to say that the other piece that's important is the Indigenous piece, and that we learn how to weave that into the donut economics and all of these new systems and into that narrative. Absolutely. So that the public understands that that's a big part of where we're getting this wisdom from.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all.
Absolutely.
That went fast. That went really, really fast. Jennifer Kim, halfway through.
Yeah, just wanted to say, I promised everyone I'd say, because there were a bunch of people who didn't get a chance to speak as well, but it was fabulous. And I just dropped into the chat the form to fill out so you could say how you want to participate. So I just promised the folks in our breakout that I do that, and it's there for everyone to see that. You could say, hey, I just want to attend, or I'm planning to be a co-convener, and we'll be able to get you on the list and keep you informed. So.
Beautiful, beautiful. That was really quick. Jennifer Kim, you're in the middle of a question about a co-convening organization that may not have the bandwidth to hold down an entire room across 4 or 5 days. Did you want to just complete that question? Because I feel it could be useful for everybody.
Yeah, you have to unmute her.
There we go. Got it. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, so the remainder of that, what's the best way for us to connect with other groups that we feel like, oh, they are doing this or that or this or that, and that's where we would fit in, you know, here or there. What's the best way for us to find that out?
Well, I think that to fill it's a beautiful question, Jennifer. So firstly, as a co-convener, yes, you would do at least one program, but you're not necessarily committed to co-steward a room. And if you're interested in maybe finding other co-stewards to help do the lifting, that's a great process. And by filling out the form that John is dropping in here, on there, it'll say, are you interested in co-stewarding a room, right, John? And does it ask for interest areas? But perhaps it is something that the team can come back to you on, Jennifer, about finding other groups that have similar themes, similar interests, and you may be able to find some allies, maybe even ones you didn't know, that you can have a co-creative journey through this process with. Wouldn't that be beautiful? And then together co-steward a room together, or a space on the Unity World map.
And also, I dropped the link into Weaver. This is the next generation of how we'll have a directories where you can describe and discover each other. So Jennifer, please take a minute to do that. It's like 5 minutes. Put in your photo, your bio, ways people can connect, your interests, and then we'll start to see who's connected to who and how, and you can put your topic up there and reach out to others. We're going to really try an experiment in weaving.
Yes.
I actually would just like to add something about the form that you're filling out. You're going to get a welcome email, but there is going to be so much more information to come. Like when we have trainings for our volunteers, we'll be sending messages specifically to those of you who've expressed your intention to give of your gifts, your volunteerism. You'll receive information when we are ready to receive participant interest, when you'd like, presentation interest, if you'd like to present. We don't have that ready yet, but it will emerge. And so if you express interest as a presenter, you'll be on our list so that you're the first to get notified when we open that up to start receiving presenter submissions, and so on and so forth for each of the categories. So just know you're getting a little welcome message, but there'll be so much more concentrated information and love that will come gently through the email to you around your expressed interest.
Yeah, and we're in an emergent process here, so asking for your patience as we come together in this and gently find the way forward. Anna Marie, you have.
Yes, the weekly calls, of course, will also be that. The way we're looking at that anyway, and how we will be supporting and convening that from the Hague Center is really to see how we can bring inspiration, to see how we can bridge and see which pieces of the puzzle we hold and how we can come together and how you then can connect to others around the world. So the weekly calls, I think, are also a good place to come and find out and share and join.
Yeah, beautiful.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. So we're going to we are going to hear from a few more co-conveners, and then I think we'll have some music and we'll close pretty much on time. So thank you everyone so much for being with us so far, and just stay with us for this next piece. And that link that John is sharing is really important for us to stay connected. And whether it says co-conveners or potential co-stewards of rooms, presenters or volunteers, everyone is such an essential part of it. When we looked at what happened last year, one of the most extraordinary things that came out of it was World Unity Water Day. And we've just come out of World Water Day in the last day or two. And water is a deeply powerful unifying element for all of life and for World Unity Week as well. And so it's really very special and a great blessing to have two incredible creators, Dr. Shelley Ostroff and Jan Golding here, and their beautiful work and important work and vital work with the World Water Law. And the recently released amazing video that speaks to that. But Shelley and Jan, it's wonderful to have you both with us. Still on mute.
There we go. Hello, everybody, and thank you, Ben, for this amazing opportunity to be here with you all and to present the next iteration of this journey that we've been on together, because the World Water Law was really birthed within the field of the pilgrimage to Jerusalem, to the Holy Land's Living Water Pilgrimage, and in the field of it was launched within World Unity Week last year, so it's really the anniversary, and it's a wonderful opportunity and invitation to share a little bit more about how perhaps we can take this water initiative further during this week, returning to what the beautiful blessing of Pat and Mindahi at the beginning, the question that comes forth for me at this time, and has for a long time, as for many of us, is how do we create the optimal conditions for a thriving world for all of life? And so for me, the program of Let's Do Something is let's do something for life. And in doing so, I was thinking of John's story of, the choice to go back to where we come from. And that third choice, and we all come from water. And so in actually returning to water as source of all of us, that unifying force, that which connects us to the superorganism, that reminds us that this isn't only about humanity, but this is about that superorganism of which we are just a small part, powerful part, because we're impacting it a lot, and to really look at the mismanagement, the misbehavior, as Mindahi spoke about, and to recognize the enormous challenges of this time. One of the organizing questions is, how do we collectively unify to activate the most radical, exponential whole system healing process that we can? And every time I ask that question, water comes and leads the way forward. And in doing so, I have the blessing of a vision which has now turned into something which we're calling a proposal for a world water law. And the world water law, for those who are not yet familiar with it, is very simple. It basically is it's a proposal for a citizen-led activation where we as humanity come together to commit ourselves and to co-create towards according to 4 different principles. The first is that we prioritize the uncompromising healing of all the planetary waters. The second is that we prioritize the healing, the restoration of the ecological conditions needed for the restoration of the planetary water cycle. The third is that we ensure that all humans and animals have guaranteed access to natural, uncontaminated water. And the fourth is that we ensure that all are held accountable for our impact on waters everywhere. So these 4 principles activate a whole system healing response. It's a creative invitation. This is not going to go through any one legal system. In discovering just how challenging the water situation is in the world, and how many people are working separately to protect their watershed, water source in their particular local area, we realize we cannot do this law by law or country by country or watershed by watershed. But by working with this one law that returns to the source of all life and heals that foundation of life, we can actually invite everybody into a co-creative process where everybody can bring their unique gifts and all of life can benefit. So it is an invitation to consider how one of the core threads of this week that can potentially have an enormous impact on all of life by offering a collective compass, a collective organizing principle, which can manifest in infinite different ways through all our diverse creative activity, can serve all of life and can actually activate such rapid healing that within the 100 days after World Unity Week, we can actually see a big difference. So that's the invitation, and thank you for the space to share it.
Brilliant.
Blessings. Wow. So beautiful to be here with everyone. I was just looking at the dates today, and the 24th, it was actually the 24th of June. So today is actually exactly 9 months after the birthing of the World Water Law into the world. So it's quite auspicious to be here together at this time. And yeah, really echoing what Shelley was sharing about this activation potential. I mean, I'm very action oriented. I'm very much into like, okay, let's do something. What can we do? What can we get behind that is already happening? You know, there's a lot that we can do. We can create new things, but there's also something to be said about identifying those acupuncture points that are already activated in the field that we can unite around. And this happens to be one of them. And there's a beautiful platform with World Water Community that we're partnering with, that is a collaboration space, a networking space where we can actually organize and create groups around initiatives and interests and these kind of things. So there's a lot of momentum that's already happening as well that may be worth considering. So yeah, really excited to explore how we can weave this in the meetings over the next months, and just so blessed to be with all of you here and really feeling the energy and the potential that was also mentioned at the beginning of this meeting. You know, we're finally coming together with all of our diversity, all of our genius, all of our passion for this transformation that we all know is possible, and really listening to each other and serving the whole, not coming with our agendas or, you know, our personal interests, but really listening to what is the field asking for us? What is that highest potential that we can manifest in our co-creation when we align with purpose? And that is the healing that is really coming now at this time and can happen exponentially. So very excited and blessed to be with all of you here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, John. Thank you, Anne-Marie, everybody who's really holding space for this in such a sacred way. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. There are so many. Thank you, Brother Jan and Shelley. It's amazing to feel into what can be achieved when we all come together in this way. And as John has said, it's underway. And incredible reflection of it's 9 months to the day, Jan, since the launch of the World Water Law. There's a mystic wind, the natural mystic blowing in the air. It's a beautiful, powerful place to be together. I really wanted to invite this beautiful couple to say a few words. Makasha Roshki, you are so welcome here. It's wonderful to have you with us. And we would love to hear just what's on your heart as we gather at this time of all the tribes coming together in groups and initiatives and change makers. We'd love just to hear a few words about what's on your beautiful Sufi hearts. You're still on mute.
What's so prominent to me is to see the self-organizing movement organizing us into the relationships to take things forward that we've been working on for decades, and the unified field that we're playing with is actually informing us of what's emergent. This is how I hold it. And you know, to be and been part of international festivals since back in the 70s, late 60s and 70s, to re-engage and you know, bring our community and all we've learned and our relationships into a concerted effort of a social, more the element of social synergy, that we're being brought together at a higher resonance that allows for the unity and the diversity to actually rise up together. So I'm really honored to be here and to be working with you all in any way that we as our community can bring more whatever to the table.
Yeah, we just popped on actually at the end of Shelley's share. Jan had passed on the link just a few minutes ago. And so I just want to speak to what I heard of Jan sharing. And what I felt was such total resonance with that, and a feeling of, you know, as Makasha said, we've been engaged in global convergence, prayers, meditations, festivals for 50 years now.
helping to facilitate them. And it's just such a feeling of kind of passing the torch, or, you know, everyone that's showing up that's so encoded with this knowing to come together and just feeling the vast network of souls on the planet now stepping forward in this way. It's very encouraging. So,
Ben,
interested
can I say,
more.
Please do,
Ben,
jump
can
in.
I say something really quick?
Yeah, please jump in. Yeah, Julie.
Catherine is who I referenced when I talked about co-creation. In my little spiel, Catherine is the author of the Co-Creators Handbook with Carolyn Anderson. And so that's nice to have them here. Everyone meet Catherine and Makasha Roski.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for jumping in and thanks for blessing us. Thank you, Julie. Wonderful. Okay, well, we are coming to a close to one at a time. And I want to go back to David Sloan Wilson's four ingredients for world unity. It's pretty fundamental. Spirituality, art, technology, and science. Well, we've had a good dose of spirituality, I feel. We've used the technology pretty well, John, I think. There's been some really good scientific perspectives here, which have been very harmonious and welcome and integrated, which is wonderful. So now it's time for a little bit of music, a little bit of art to round things out. So we are very, very blessed. Thank you, everyone. I have no doubt that we could continue this conversation well into the next 24-hour cycle. And we will. In our hearts, we go forward together. This is our first step on our road up to World Unity Week. It's our first deliberate step together. And we're going to be on a journey of discovery. We're going to be on a journey of cohesion, of synergy, of unity, of harmony, of action together as we land this together. It's ours to do. It's yours to do as much as it is anyone's to do, John.
No, Ben, Gary was in the room with us, and he made a point and committed to actually have art not just be in music, one of those kind of enjoyable things, but to actually embed that in the whole design of World Unity Week. So it was great. And we're all kind of challenging ourselves to bring our very best and bring our best selves forward. So I just wanted to say that before we hear from Gary and his music, that he's in, and if you want to play, and there's lots of that going on. So add yourself to Weaver if you're not there, sign up on the form to let us know how you want to participate. The simplest way to fill out that form is just say you want to attend, then we'll put your email in, but you can do the other roles to volunteer or co-convene or be a presenter as well. So if you need help, we're here for you.
Gary Malkin, over to you. And then once Gary is finished, if beloved Ephrat is still here from you can see the lands that Ephrat is there in Israel. I'll just show you the, I can't spotlight on video, but maybe we can have a closing prayer from you, Sister Ephrat, once we have some music from Gary, and then we'll close. Gary Malkin.
You need to make him co-host.
I need to be a co-host because I'm going to share something that requires sharing. So,
okay.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to give an example of what I was suggesting in the breakout. First of all, what an enormous honor. My dream and vision, no matter how much our intentions are so great, it often is after everyone goes and the ones that hang on get to share the integrative moment. And my dream is that something like what I'm about to share becomes a requirement for getting all of us online, body, mind, heart, spirit, and soul. And in this group, we don't have to worry about that because everybody's so lined up to heart and soul. But as a concept, I want to just recognize that healing happens through tenderness and through love and through self-appreciation. What we appreciate grows. And as we love each other through the self-love of intimacy with tenderness, we actually create a felt mystical sense of that connection to the unity of all. So I'm going to share this recording that I just love, and it embodies the marriage of heart, body, mind, and soul through the art and love of appreciating. And I'd love somebody who's the co-host to just random spotlight. And I'd love to invite everyone to share with your open, vulnerable heart, your presence, your being, just who you are as you are. and just linger for a few seconds on each spotlight as we really take in with all of our heart and souls the magnificent floral arrangement that we are at this moment. So here, this is a recording, an example of a thing called a transformance by me, improvised by me and Sarah McCrum. I love this experience. It's only 3 minutes, but it demonstrates what can happen and how we can fool ourselves with our minds to allow ourselves to live from here up. Not necessarily this group, but most human beings get quite caught up in subjugating our heart and soul and body. And this is a tool that helps awaken that. May you all enjoy it. 3 minutes, and I'll hopefully it'll touch you as much as I love sharing it. Here we go.
Do you know how beautiful you are?
Whoever spotlights, give us the gift of that.
Have you ever stopped to look at yourself? To see yourself in your truth? In the clarity of who you are? In your magnificence? If only you could see what I can see. If only you could know what I know of you. You would stand before yourself in awe. You would see yourself you would feel yourself. You would know yourself. And so I invite you in this moment to see how beautiful you are. To see yourself in clarity, in simplicity, in your true nature. I invite you to see yourself. You are so beautiful.
I want to suggest that these moments of integrating sound with word, with tenderness and intimacy and spaciousness, is the catalyst for the imaginal soup integrating into the butterflies we're metamorphosing into. It's the actual digestive component, enzyme, that actually creates the work of unity within us. So I really welcome conversations around how we can actually agree as a unified body that music is not just entertainment, but innertainment for the integration of the honoring of the jewels of our intelligence as equal jewels in the crown of the human experience: heart, body, mind, spirit, and soul. Thank you, Ben, for letting me share that, and I love you all.
Gary, that was just so beautiful. It's sweet and divine. It's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that. And yes, yes to what you're bringing to this this superorganism. Music is life. Music is life. Beautiful, beautiful. And Victoria Friedman, I believe you have a little artistic offering that's been created during this assembly that you want to share. It's what Cara Stonehouse does with graphics. I think Victoria has done with words and captured a little bit of everybody's offering here. Be wonderful to hear from you, Victoria. We'll get you off mute. Hello, you're still on mute. No, we can't hear you, Victoria.
It says Gary is still sharing the sound. I wonder if that, there we go.
Victoria.
Sorry about that. Didn't realize I had been sharing the sound still. There we go.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you, Gary, for that. I think what I'm about to read is very much the symphony of sound that you created, because it's not, it's not the individual instruments, everyone here speaking. It's the sound that we create together, the sound that comes out of each instrument and becomes that auditorium, that symphony, that concerto of unity. So this is a phrase from each person, just randomly picked from everyone that spoke. So the title of the poem would be The Human Being Song. There is a way for us to be here. There is a way for us to be here. Remembering who we are, attuned to the cosmic beat, functioning as a global organism, functioning as a global organism. The power of our unity expressed. And it is this paradigm that must be modeled and magnified all over the world. A living reality, a living reality, a living reality. Beyond okayism and its themism, let's do something. A super organization, monumental, monumental, sponsoring a new world. That's the invitation. Thank you. Thank you for this incredible sound of truth, the sound of truth, the frequency of truth that has really been emanating from this screen and this complete non-local transmission. Thank you.
So beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you for that brilliant creativity, Victoria. That's it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so let's end as we've begun, and continue this walk together, hand in hand, and heart and heart, and shoulder to shoulder, together up, for the water, for all of life, for the children, for everything we hold dear. And let's come together in a prayer, because this is also essential, that we begin and we hold and that we end in that prayerful reverence for the great mystery and for the beauty of life and for the creative force that lives within us and from which we come. Efrat, it's such a delight to have you with us. Dear sister, if you could please gather us and close us today in joy and thanksgiving and love. You're on mute, sister. We still can't hear you, Efrat. There you are.
Thank you so much. I couldn't open it. So let us close our eyes and open the heart. They're opened already. Let us reach out to each other. Our hands are reaching out to hug each other. What a beautiful circle of light. Let us imagine, as it is, that heaven is coming down to bless us all, supporting us, loving us, holding us in their hearts. As we lift our hearts up to heaven, we give our consent as we gave before we came here, that we shall do it together. We will recognize each other. And so we do. It is love, it is unity. Heaven and earth are one. We are heaven walking on the earth, as we promised. We are holding the stars. Living stars with our footsteps on the holy earth. We give our consent, we commit. It is a covenant between heaven and earth, and we are the one. As we promised, we are doing. Blessings, 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 from heaven to the earth, from the earth, from us to heaven. Blessings, peace, salam, shalom, paz. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Efrat. Thank you, Efrat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, John. Thank you, Anna Marie. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Rhiannon. Thank you, Becky had to go. Priya, thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, Summer Joy Raymer. Thank you, everyone who's been with us in this space together. We go with love and gratitude and joy. And there is probably a song we can play to finish this off. So I'll share the screen. And this is the track to the beautiful video that just got made. If you haven't seen it yet, it's a 2-minute video about World Unity Week, which is really cool. But this is some of our brother Eric Rabuska's cool music, which we can use to finish off here. We'll share the computer audio. And then, John, the first assembly is finished.
Hey, brother Eric Rabuska.
Blessings, brother.
Greetings from Africa.
Light Warriors welcomes you.
Yo, I got a few words to say.
Tell us.
Deep at the center and source of all things and values, all creation is one. A gargantuan multiplicity of variety emanating from a common magnificent source. From beauty, truth, and goodness, all life, all things, spiritual, intellectual, and material evolve.
One supreme, many faces. How supremely our inner divinity blindingly shines in pursuit of deeper connection. Never tires in self-actualizing service of greater deeds. Inspired from subtle relations to all natural beauty that stuns.
The human family is one. Peace to this one human family. Man and woman made he in the beginning. If so, You ever start to ask yourself, where from all these varieties of skin shades and colors? Africa. 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 Peace. When we look into the cosmos with our powerful telescopes, what do we see? Do we see monotony or do we see diversity? It's a necessary coexistence of varieties of creations living in the cosmos, man inclusive.
Not exclusive.
Obviously, the Creator has eyes and intelligence for beautiful variety. Creation didn't emerge from a boring creator after all. He made red, he made orange, he made yellow, he made green, he made blue, he made indigo, he made violet. He looked at all these shades and he was pleased. He allowed them to be and to evolve. His least intelligent creations, however, look at this array of beauty and they gnaw their teeth. That which is seen through the Creator's eyes as beauty, man sees as enemy.
Now man must resist his own violent reactions in